Hi friends, it has been a minute since I have done something on this channel. So I wanted to get on here in case you were new. I'm going to show you what I'm using, which I am using my Saint palette. This is a palette 27. So what that means is I can fit tons of stuff in here. So on my first layer, I have my highlight colors and I have different contours. And then on my second layer, I have lip and cheek colors. I have a brush cleaning tile. I have bronzers. And then on my third layer, I have illuminators, and then I have a bunch of eyeshadows. So everything you need is in this palette. It's super nice for on the go. And I am using my 3D brush, which is the best brush for beginners. You can do your whole face with it. So even though I could totally color correct today, I'm not going to. I want more of a light look. So I am going to start with my contour shade, which I am using. Let's see what I'm using. I am using Ash. These are all magnetic, so they pop in and they pop out of your compact. So once you are done with one color, you can toss it and just go to the site and purchase what you need. So I'm actually going to use the pointy side of the brush. I'm going to get some of that product on the brush, and I'm going to do my contour. So I'm going to start at the top of my ear, and I have some highlight color on it. So that's why you want to use your brush cleaning tile. So let's go ahead and use my brush cleaning tile to clean it off a little. It's cream makeup, so it's super easy to fix as long as you have not set it yet. So we are just going to make these crazy lines on our face. I go to about the corner of my eye, maybe a little bit further. We're going to do a line on our forehead. I like to kind of connect the two lines a little bit from my forehead to my cheek. So what contour is going to do, in case you've never used contour, or maybe you've tried to use contour and it just doesn't work, cream makes it so easy to use because everything is so buildable and blendable. And I think that's always been my issue before, is I could never get it to blend right, and it just looked muddy and nasty. So what contour is going to do is it's going to create the illusion that certain areas of your face may appear smaller. So you will have lifted cheekbones, your forehead will appear a little bit smaller. You can have your jawline look a little bit slimmer. Same for your nose and lips if you want to. I will go ahead and do my nose. I'm still going to stick with the smaller side of the brush. And I'm just going to create a line on top of my nose. So if you are trying to make your nose look slimmer, make sure your lines are on top of your nose. If you have a really thin nose and you want it to look a little bit bigger, just make your lines further apart. And I'm just going to let this sit and kind of melt into my skin a little bit before I blend it. So the key with cream makeup is you don't want to do a lot of swiping. You want to do more stippling because it's really going to stick to your skin rather than liquid makeup where it can kind of slide all over the place. Okay, so I already put it on my jawline. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my brush cleaning tile. So if you don't have a brush cleaning tile, I highly recommend it just to clean that brush between shades. Super important. Okay, so I am going to be using this color right here, and I'm also going to be using this color. I'm just going to kind of mix them just because I'm a little in between shades right now. And I'm just using a little bit, okay? You will notice with cream makeup, a little bit goes a long way. I'm literally just dabbing in both of those colors. And again, we did zero color correcting. So you will see how nicely this makeup covers. Going right above that contour area. I'm going to leave this area under my eyes makeupless for a second because I'm doing my best just to use one layer of makeup because I just don't want a full coverage look today. Put a little bit above my brows. Okay. All right. And we can always go back if I feel like I need a little bit extra coverage over something. I can always go back later and fix it. But for now, let's stick with what we have. Always get under that chin. I have like redness right underneath my chin, so I don't like to forget that. All right, flipping back to the smaller side of the brush, I did apply my foundation shade with the bigger side or dome side of the 3D brush. So now I'm flipping to the pointy side, which is what I applied my contour with. Understand, with this cream makeup, you can use whatever side you want, whatever's easiest for you. I'm just showing you what I do. Okay, so I'm going in with Moonlit, which is this shade right here. It is super light, so it's definitely not like a foundation shade. It is my concealer or AKA my brightener. And so I'm putting that in the corner of my eye to really brighten that area. And I'm going to put it on the corner of my eye, and I kind of take it up to my temple. Okay? Going to do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so then I'm just going to take a little bit and put it right there, a little bit, put it right there, and a little bit there. Those are the spots that are going to really pop out in my face. And then I'm going to put a little bit between the contour lines. Okay. My nose contour is usually the last shade that I blend because I want to let it melt in as much as possible before I then blend it. Again, personal preference. There is very, very little rules when it comes to cream makeup. Put it in the places that they're supposed to be and then blend. So I'm going to take the bigger side of this brush. So I have not switched brushes. And as you can tell, I am stippling this makeup. I am not doing a lot of swiping, even if it looks like it maybe, but I am not. This helps the hold of the makeup last. So just kind of look at the top of my eye versus the side. So we did not color correct. We just used one color to help us look alive. Oh, scratching my neck. All right, same thing with here. We're gonna kind of just push this in between our brows and right in the middle of our forehead. Now, we will blend it so all the colors melt together in a second. I'm just kind of getting everything in their placement, and then we will come back. Now, the brush, especially for a light coverage look that I like to use for a blush, is the blush and bronzer brush. And I will show you the difference on each side just so you can kind of see. But I want to show you this side because I told you you could do your whole face with that side, with this brush. So we're going to use, this color right here, which is La Signa. Probably saying it wrong. So I'm going to use the bigger side of my brush and just get a little bit on here. And I'm going to start right above that contour line, okay? Then I'm going to take my blush and bronzer brush just to show you the different brush. Get a little bit of that on there. And it's just so light and you can just kind of like feather it on. I just love using this brush, which is the blend brush. Yeah, blend brush to apply my blush color. But you can totally do it with either. Okay. They both do a great job. All right. Again, just pushing it into my skin. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my forehead contour is blended. Make sure that accent shade is blended. Kind of taking my brush around my face. So these are concealed, right, with the one color that we used. The texture is not going to go away. You can just camouflage the color. The other thing with cream makeup is it has to be set, okay, to keep it in its place. And now I'm just making sure that I blend in that contour that was on my jaw. Okay. All right, so now our nose contour. I'm going to take the side of the brush, and I'll show you two different ways to blend your nose contour. Take the side of your brush and just kind of easily blend it back and forth till it's blended to your liking, or take your finger and blend it. And the reason that your finger works is because, unless your hands are super cold, naturally your body is warm, so it helps blend and melt that makeup in. And then you're just going to take your brush and blend in that accent shade. Now, if you get a little messy with your nose contour, which I'm just messy, you can always apply a little bit more of your accent shade if you need to. And you can blend it with your finger or your brush. Okay? I feel like when I do it with my fingers, I just like form it exactly the way that I want it, but do whatever works for you. Okay? And then always just blend in right up by your brows. Now, what I like to do, especially if you are new to cream, I like to take my Perfector sponge. You want to get it damp and just kind of go around your face. And what this is going to do is take off any excess makeup that you may have applied that you just didn't need. The Perfector sponge will be your best friend when you are getting started, okay? This also will help blend, so you can blend your nose contour, blend your colors together. Cannot go wrong with getting the Perfector sponge. It's so soft and it'll last you forever. And I just clean mine with the brush cleaner. Okay. So we have that there. So we have those colors on our face. We used 4 colors. We used our foundation shade, our contour shade, our lip and cheek shade, and our brightener. So now we're gonna put something on our lips, which I think I'm just gonna use our lip gloss, which I'm using Cherry. And then I will do my eyes and I will come back and show you how I set it. Okay, I am back. I am using Coty Airspun. This is good for like combination skin. It is a little bit of a heavier setting powder. So if you have super dry skin, I don't recommend it. So I'm using, but if you have combination skin or more on the oily side, it's great. So I'm using my Perfector sponge. I'm getting a heavy amount on there. Be careful because it will get on your clothes. I'm putting it underneath my contour. And this is also going to give you more, I'm going to put it on my chin, going to give you more of a matte finish than a dewy finish. If you want a dewy finish, our Stay Spray leaves you that dewy finish. I'm putting it under my eyes. So if it's getting on your clothes, take it, tap it off on the side, and then apply it. And I feel like you can control it more with the Perfector sponge than a brush, because it actually like gets, like it's not just hanging off of your Perfector sponge. Now, I crease really bad here, so I'm gonna just be careful and just apply a little bit. If you have more mature skin, you want to be very careful with your setting powder and not apply too much, because it can kind of crease in those areas, in those fine lines. So if you need recommendations for setting powder, let me know. So I'm kind of avoiding this area just a tad because I crease right there. And then you're going to let that sit for as 3 to 5 minutes. Like really try to let it sit for that 3 to 5 minutes to really have that extra hold. So I'm going to let mine set for 3 to 5 minutes, and I will show you what I do to dust the rest off. Okay, powder's still on my face. I waited about 5 minutes. I'm going to take the bigger side of the 3D brush, and I'm going to take that powder and I'm pushing it into my skin, but I'm also going over my contour areas, okay? Because I didn't put powder there, and I obviously want to make sure that those set as well. And now I want you to take a second and go, once this video is over, or right now, scroll to the front, to the beginning of the video, and look at the coverage this makeup gave me. I did not color correct. I used my 4 colors. I did end up using a different color on my lips while I was waiting for my setting powder to set. And I used the Maybelline Superstay ink crayon, which I love these. What shade is this, in case you're wondering? It's called Trust Your Gut, and it's 10. Love it. So again, scroll to the beginning of this video and look at the coverage. If you are interested in being color matched, I will put a form in the description area. Fill it out, and I will personally color match you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I will answer. Have a good one.